what ratios or formulations should I use for my condition?
Yeah, that's a straightforward question, but not a straightforward
Yeah.
question. A part of it depends on, the condition that our endocannabinoid systems are starting at. What tone or what is the health of your system? And if you're fighting a disease process, chances are your endocannabinoid system tone is down or the health of that system is down. When we look at patients with their problems, we're going to look at all of their problems. We're going to look at their overall lifestyle, sleeping, their nutrition, medications they're on, and of course, their experience with or without cannabis. And so we first try to push, your food is your first medicine. But all those things coming together is going to help us decide what kind of ratio we start you on and what the milligram content of the dosage is going to be. Ratio, let me define ratio for you. Ratio only means comparing one component to another. It's apples to oranges. How many apples do you have for every orange? So when we talk about ratios in cannabis, we're talking about CBD to THC. How many CBD molecules do you have for every THC molecule you have? And depending on the disease process and the experience with cannabis of the patient, we'll get them started somewhere. For example, if I have a very naive patient, I'm going to start them on a high ratio. A more experienced patient, a low ratio. And those ratios can start at 1-to-1 and end up 27-to-1, 30-to-1, and so on. GW Pharmaceuticals is now trying to get patents on everything from 1 to 100 and 100-to-1. So those ratios can vary. We decide which ratio primarily depending on your experience. If you've never used THC, we're not going to give you a 1-to-1. Those ratios 4-to-1 and up, patients will not feel the effects of that THC. So we need to understand what the ratio actually means. It means molecules to one molecule to how many of the other kinds of molecules. With that being said, depending on your disease process also will dictate which ratio that we start you at. For example, if I have a stage 4 cancer patient like you, Shannon, then I'm going to have to start them at a lower ratio regardless of their experience because I want to get ahead of that cancer. So I'm probably going to start at a 3-to-1, moving to a 2-to-1 to 1-to-1 with therapeutic dosages of that medication. So those ratios just tell me where to start. It doesn't talk to me about dosage, but it takes everything into account, other medical problems, the medication list that you're on, the experiences you have surrounding your life, your relationships, your family, your nutrition. All those things help us decide how to and where to start when it comes to ratios.
Great example there. And then the ratios. Someone brought this up to me recently, and I learn every day. So I know. I almost, Corinne would say, if she was here, she would laugh. I was about to say, I know a lot. And Corinne would have said, really? So, but the ratios, because I was always saying what ratio of my father-in-law was a 4-to-1 ratio, THC to CBD. Always know what the first number is as well. But a doctor one day said, John, it could be a 4-to-1 ratio, meaning 40 milligrams to 10 milligrams or 400 milligrams to 40 milligrams. So you need to make sure you know what those a 4-to-1 ratio is not the same across the board. I said, God, I was all, you taught me something there too. Mm-hmm.